Hey, welcome back to Through Nikki's Lens. I am Nikki, yours truly, and I'm here with another video for you today. So, you have been waiting on your IRCC application. It might be for permanent residence or a temporary resident visa. Whatever it is, you might be wondering, how can I connect with IRCC? You have checked your application status on the various portals or websites. It could be your GC key, your PR portal, or the permanent residence tracker. You're not seeing any updates on your application. The standard time for processing that application would have been far exceeded, and you're wondering what next. I have some information that I wanted to share with you about the various ways that you can make contact with IRCC. Let's get into the video. So, the ways that you can contact IRCC are by phone, whether you're inside or outside of Canada, through a web form, your member of parliament, or GCMS notes. I will go further in details about the various ways that you can make contact with IRCC. I will screen record and demonstrate to you some information and the different ways that you can make contact with IRCC. If you want to make a phone call to IRCC and you are inside of Canada, the number that you can contact is 1-888 242 2100. 1-888 242 2100. If you are outside of Canada, you may contact IRCC by phone using the number 1-613-944-4000. That is 613-944-4000. If you have been waiting for a very long time for your application to be processed, do not get discouraged. I know how anxious you can get when waiting for your application to be processed by IRCC, because this might be a very important step for you in your immigration journey. And knowing what the outcome of your application will be, especially when you are waiting so long, you're not sure what is happening, you're not seeing any progress on your application, it might become a little bit challenging and you may get uneasy waiting. I hope that you will soon hear back from IRCC with great news.
We are on IRCC's website. You are on this web address. There are several options for you that you can utilize to contact IRCC. So the drop down box, it has several options here. The first one is to get help in a crisis, emergency, or vulnerable situation, like the situation in Sudan, Afghanistan, Ukraine, or Israel, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. So when you select each option, you will see the various methods that you can utilize or mediums that you can utilize to contact IRCC. So if you want to tell them about a change in your circumstances that affects your application, such as your marriage, birth of a child, or similar, change in your contact information, you want to submit requested documents, withdraw an application or request a refund, ask questions about the 2024 Parents and Grandparents Sponsorship Program, or to contact them about something else. So let me select to tell them about changes in that may affect your application, such as I mentioned, marriage, birth, or similar. So once you select the option that applies to you, you hit submit, and the different options are there. So client support center, contact options. you have an option to contact them online using the web form, and I will go into the web form to show you what it is like to submit a request. So you can use their web form, and this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is an automated telephone service, and this is in Canada only, where you dial 1-888-242-2100, and it is a touch tone telephone where you can check your status of your application and listen to pre-recorded information about their programs. So the same information that will be in your GCK account, if your application is through your GCK, you will hear on the touch tone telephone. So any day of the week, any time of day of the week that you call and you put in your details, your application number, your UCI, or any other identifying information that they may need from you, I believe your date of birth, you can get the latest update on your application that is linked to your GCK. I'm not sure if it's the same. I assume it's the same if you have an application in the PR portal and so forth, your express entry profile as well for your permanent residency application, your work permit, your visitor visa, and things like that. So the other client support center agent, which is the fact that they are available in French and English. You can get help with general and case specific inquiries. This is when you can get to speak to an agent, a client support center agent from IRCC. And once you can identify yourself, validate your application, they will give you information as much as they can. And it says that agents cannot make decisions on applications, help process applications faster unless you're eligible for urgent processing. So keep those things in mind. Unfortunately, there is a processing time, and if it is that you you're not getting an update on your application, they cannot implore or nudge anyone to process the application any faster. So they are available Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is local time, regardless of the province that you're in inside of Canada. And important to note that they are not available on statutory holidays. There is a typewriter service, TTY, and it says that you can call via the bell relay service if you're hearing impaired or if you have a speech impediment. And the voice TTY is 1-800-855-0511 and so forth.
You have made it halfway through the video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you have not already done so, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the post notification bell. Remember to like the video that you're watching right now, share it with someone that may benefit from the information. Leave your comments, ask your questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer.
The number for outside of Canada calls that it's not highlighted on the screen at this present. It is 1-613-944-4000. That is 1-613-944-4000. And let me just quickly go on another option. So instead of tell IRCC about a change in your circumstances, we are going to select submit requested documents. And when you hit submit, the information comes up and it tells you that, again, you can use their online web form 24 hours, 7 days a week, the automated service, and the same number. Essentially, it's the same information from the other option. So let's get into the web form, using a web form. So IRCC Web Form, contact us online. submitting an inquiry. Even if you haven't heard from us recently, we're still processing your application. And they're saying you don't need to do anything else. If they need more information from you, they will contact you. Our agents do not have access to more information about your case status or processing time than you can access online. So before contacting them, they're giving you information. You can check your application status online. You can find answers to your question in their help center, get information on their website. So we understand that timely access to client support is important, and they're thanking you for your patience. So what do you like to do? The various things that you can do through a web form, they are to ask about your application, ask a general question about a program or a service, give new information about your application, change your contact information, add or change or remove a representative, ask about the 2024 Parents and Grandparents Sponsorship Program, and report a technical problem. If you've never received a unique identifier, that's a UCI, and you wish to ask a general question, so type 8 zeros, that's in the field, the UCI field. So you then click on Tell Us More. So you're going to answer some questions. Are you contacting us about the 2024 Grandparents Sponsorship Program? No. Have you submitted an application for permanent residence as a student worker, visitor? As a student, a visitor worker, you say yes or no. Yes, in this case. Is your application being processed outside of Canada? You say yes or no. I'm going to say no because it selects, if you say yes, it gives you that outside of Canada web form, I assume. And if you select no, it gives you the inside of Canada query web form. So you may use this form if you have submitted an application or profile, your application has exceeded the normal processing time. So this is important. And they're saying they will not respond to a query if the application is within the normal processing time. So be sure before you use a web form that your application exceeded the processing time. You want to report changes in your contact information, birth, deaths, marriage, divorces, adoptions, changes in employment. You want to withdraw an application, request a refund, and urgent requests, things like these. So you wish to add or cancel representative, you require urgent processing of your renewal, replacement of a PR card, you wish to report a technical issue, and so forth. So be sure that your query falls under one of these, and you select this type of application or query is for whatever the reason. I will select permanent residence that I applied online, and please select the name, the application that you have applied for. You must have already submitted the application in order to send an inquiry. The type of application is permanent resident online express entry. Do you want to add a document to an existing file or application? You select yes or no. And it says you will receive confirmation by email as soon as the documents have been added to your file. This is something new because I've never seen this pop up when I've used this web form before. If you need to provide additional information about the documents you're submitting, please upload a letter of explanation with the document. So they're giving you as much information as possible. If you also want to ask general or case specific questions about the application, we invite you to submit a new IRCC web form. So if you're submitting, like I selected here, that I want to inquire about my PR application, I want to put in my family name. It would be your surname or your last name. Your given name would be your first name and your middle name as well, if you have a middle name, your email address that's associated with your application, your date of birth, the country of birth, your client UCI, application number, telephone number, mobile number, and the inquiry information. So if the relationship to the applicant, if it is you that is the applicant, you're a representative or you're a sponsor, you will select the necessary or the applicable relationship, and based on what you select, they will ask you specific questions, and you just answer the questions accordingly. So you fill in your family name, so the information for the person making the inquiry, and you go down and you select I agree with the consent and disclaimer, and you select next. Once you go to the next screen, which I can't move on because I don't want to type in my personal information. You go to the next page. It is either for you to validate the information, double check what information you inputted in the application. That's it. And then you would be able, if you want to attach a file, there's an option for you to attach the file and you submit it. And you will get a confirmation on the screen stating that you would have submitted that application. I would have also indicated that you can submit an inquiry through a member of parliament. I have a video specific to that, and I will put a link so that you can access that video to get more details about the process of using your member of parliament. So essentially what it is that you have a member of parliament, you're in Canada or you're intending to come to Canada, and there's a specific province and city that you will go to and reside once you get here. It's recommended that you contact your member of parliament that's closest to that city and province that you're going to reside in Canada, and reach out to their office for them to guide you and give you the support that you need to check on your application. Some notes is for you to get an update on your application. You make a request to IRCC, you get detailed information about the processing of your application, every step that they would have taken on your application, as well as all the details in relation to the checks that they have made and notes that they make on your application. If your application is stuck at a particular phase, the information will be provided to you.
I want to thank you so much for making it through Nikki's Lens, and I'll see you in my next video.